Just We the People News. Okay, not attorney, not giving legal advice. I'm hearsay. All right. Let's just go ahead and proceed forward on this. Time is short.
A new attorney will need to be appointed. I'm going to appoint Richard Paz, her new attorney. I just don't say what it needs to communicate. And I'm going to set a new court date for her, and I'm going to set it quickly. Thank you, sir. Can I just keep Mr. Watts and get this over with? Because I want to go back to Texas. I don't want to go back and forth. No. Right, April 8th at 2:30 p.m. And I'm hoping Mr. Paul will be available to represent you and appear at that time, Ms. Ruth. Your no bond hold is due to your own failure to appear in court when you were ordered to do so, Ms. Ruth. I didn't know about those court appearances, and one of those is because I was in here, and the moment I got arrested, which was 14 hours before I was supposed to appear at court, I told them that I had court on the 24th. The other two court dates I did not know about because I'm not getting. Okay, wait a minute. Slow down. Slow down. It's fine.
So if you notice, her attorney kept on shaking his head no. Okay.
Tell you what my docket notes show. Is you were before this court on September the 14th. At that hearing, with you there, I set your next hearing for October 24th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Right, and I got arrested. Came around, you failed to appear. I was sitting here. I got arrested on the 23rd on a different matter through the city that said I had already missed this court date. That's what I'm saying. The failure to appear does not add up. And I know the system was down, so I was trying not to complain about it. I was in here. I got arrested on the 23rd, right after I left Mr. Watts' office and spoke to him about it and told him I would be at court. And that was on a Monday. I got arrested at like 12 o'clock. I was in his office at like 10 o'clock. We'd had a good meeting that morning, too.
I will note, Your Honor, we did have a meeting on the 23rd. I expected her on the 24th. She failed to appear. Ma'am, if she was arrested on a city matter, that is something this court has no contact with, no control over, and no knowledge of. I'm not aware of her city warrants, if she had any. I'm not assigned to her city warrants. Those have nothing to do with us.
And my apologies. So, Ms. Ruth, you were able to resolve your city hold, and you got out of jail before Jane got word of the fact that you were on a no bond hold in this case, and you got out?
We're going to pause right there again. Now, the question at hand, if this is her attorney, for the best of your client and the best for his case, would he do some due diligence about any outstanding warrants? Period. I know that's hard to grasp for some of the lawyers to actually do their jobs. And, you know, this attorney right here does not want nothing, allegedly, want nothing to interfere in his case. And yet, he did not do his due diligence. And this happens actually quite often to people.
Is that right? Apparently, because I didn't know anything about it. It was the thing. I was in Mr. Like I just said, we had a good morning, a good visit that morning. Everything was fine. I left his office, and then like an hour later, I was on a county road and was being followed. So I pulled over, and they were looking for some other girl. But then all of a sudden, they told me I had a city warrant that I didn't even know anything about. Okay. Well, okay. The computers were down, so I didn't complain about it. I didn't argue about it. I just said, hey, I have court. I guess what I'm trying to determine, Ms. Ruth, so we don't spend all afternoon on this, is how you got out of jail if this court had put a no bond hold on you on the morning of the 24th.
Okay. So he is more concerned about how she got out of jail with the no bond, that this attorney didn't do his due diligence to come find out that there's a warrant for her arrest a few hours later, And his main concern is that she got out of jail. And it's not the sheer deal of how did this all happen about her being locked up after forking out money, which you would see in the future, of a bond. That's justice. That right there is protection. This one's not saying a word because he's letting everybody bite their own heads off.
I don't know. I sat here for a week, and then I sat out. I sat here for a week. I don't know, Your Honor.
You shouldn't have got out. You should have been back before this court, and you never made any efforts to make up the court date that you knew you missed.
I know. I had called, and they kept telling me the system was down. The system was down, and then with that, on the other matter, it's a domestic matter, and I had seen my mom, and she told me that she had dropped the whole thing.
Okay.
And I had seen Charlie Green, and he said it was no big deal.
I've given you the earliest court date that I could under the circumstances. Some reasonable expectation that gives Mr. Pa enough time to at least visit with you.
Okay.
Kind of set you just a few days out, April the 8th, and we'll review your case on that 2:30 p.m. docket at that time. Again, Mr. Watts has been relieved. Richard Pa is appointed as new counsel.
Okay.
We'll address your felony case again at that time.
Okay. So no, I have to sit in here until the 8th then? Is that correct?
Yes. That's what I mean.
Okay.
Okay. If there's nothing further then, the Jennifer Ruth matter will currently be in recess, and we'll move on to another matter on the docket.
I see the devil stalking me. 2 weeks later.
Jennifer Ruth. That's Mr. Pa's case.
It is, Your Honor.
Okay, let's see who we have here. The person at the detention center Zoom location, would you identify yourself, please?
Jennifer Ruth.
Okay.
All right. We're still going through basically the same process. The only one that's the same is the judge and her. Different attorney, and it's not even the correct attorney. Different prosecutor. And this is the third or fourth one, or let's see, that's 1, 2, 3. Third one. And you wonder why justice is so slow? Because these people can't get their act together.
Next case is State of Kansas versus Jennifer Darlene Ruth. It's case number 2023 CR 348. Defendant appears at the jail Zoom location. Chris Pate appears on behalf of Richard Pa as defense counsel. Brett Sweeney appears for the state. To review, this case was essentially set for believed pretrial matters following waiver of preliminary hearing and arraignment. Prior counsel was relieved. Mr. Pa was appointed at a proceeding on March the 27th. The matter was just simply reset to today's date, apparently for just control and scheduling purposes. I don't know what Mr. Pa's intentions are with this case. Mr. Pate, can you announce in accord with that?
Based on the conversation I had with Miss Ruth, I think we need to get it set for trial. I didn't even realize the prelim had already been waived. I was going to ask to set it for prelim, but I think we just need a jury trial setting, and then I would ask to address the issue of bond as well.
And Your Honor, did the court say that prelim had been waived? Because I don't see that in my notes.
Prelim was waived on August the 28th of 2023. Arraignment conducted September the 14th.
Okay.
It was set for plea hearing without a jury trial setting originally. I could assign Tuesday, May the 14th
They check Mr. Paul's calendar. He'd be available for the pre-trial on May 10th. His calendar looks pretty full the following week. Maybe could we just set it for a status on the 10th in case there's a chance of it resolving without a trial?
Yes. I'm going to set this Friday, May 10th at 10. Defendant must fully participate by audio and visual means that time. What I'll list as a pretrial conference. I encourage the parties to continue discussions working toward a possible resolution. Friday, May 10th, 10 o'clock for pretrial conference. At that time, we'll make a determination whether jury trial the following week is viable or not.
So, also, when he spoke up, right, he said a brief counsel to her. Okay? And this is where lies a lot of problems. A court-appointed attorney spends 5 minutes there trying to tell you that what kind of plea you may need to take, instead of trying to figure out how to get you out of jail and not go to court and this, that, here, and there. He's had a couple of weeks to actually spend a little bit more time with her to give her a full understanding calmly, instead of 5 or 10 minutes in a room. And the big lawyers actually do that. They actually sit down and discuss a period of time way before court. So this is the problem with the court-appointed attorneys. They spend 5-10 minutes with you, and this is what we should do. And you're supposed to make up your decision right then and there, instead of let it percolate, listen, and decide to take a yes or no on the plea. You know, the split-second thing is what they want you to do. Everybody wants to make you do a plea. Everybody. This judge wants a plea. This wants a plea. They want a plea. And in most cases, in a hurry, and with the threat of longer sentencing, she's going to want a plea, because if she's looking at 2 years, or fully 5 years, and they offer her 2 years, well, she's going to do the plea because all these people ganged up on her, and it says, hey, if you don't take this plea, you're looking at 5 years. And we already know they're perfect, as we can tell on this deal, that every time we turn around, there is somebody new and didn't know what the hell was going on.
Actually, based on what you've said, Mr. Pate, there's probably likely to be so much conflict on the jury trial calendar, I'm going to be looking at a resetting. It's just what I want this May 10th proceeding to be somewhat productive. But I'll just set it as pre-trial conference without it being on the jury trial docket. The state need not issue subpoenas. Mr. Sweeney?
Yes, sir.
If she needs a jury trial, then we'll reset it on May 10th with Mr. Paul participating. So the next setting in the Ruth case is Friday, May 10th at 10 by Zoom. You had something else you wanted to address, Mr. Pate?
Your Honor, if I may, the issue of bond, it appears there was a bench warrant bond forfeiture issued on October 24th. Ms. Ruth had posted a $1,500 bond, and then, according to this order, did not appear on October 24th. I spoke to Ms. Ruth in the breakout room, and she indicated to me that she was arrested on October 23rd and was actually being held in the Butler County Jail on October 24th when she was supposed to be in court. I have not been able to independently verify that. I know the jail's usually pretty good about getting people on, but if what she's telling me is accurate, she was right there where she is now when she was supposed to be in court on October 24th.
Why was she convicted?
We're going to stop right there. Now, again, he's had long enough, this guy or the other attorney that's supposed to be here. Why have they not figured out the time and date and be able to bring this forward to this judge right now? Why did he have to say, well, she brought it to my attention? just this last 10 minutes. And now he had to kind of jump in and kind of wing it. But he didn't verify it. So again, that's hearsay. By her facts, by the way. It's not really hearsay when it comes from her. But again, sit and think about this. He's already had a couple of weeks to figure this out.
October 23rd.
I think she got arrested on another matter. I was trying to keep the breakout room as brief as possible so we could keep things moving, so I didn't get all the details, but
there you go. Brief as possible so the courts can run smoothly. Be damned of her. As long as everything in his room is going smooth. And he's helping him, keeping everything smooth, but be damned on her. We'll just let her sit in jail.
it was apparently a separate matter.
It was a failure, if I may, sorry. It was a failure to appear on a city matter, but I've talked to, that I didn't even know about. I thought it had been dropped. And I've talked to Cammie, I've seen Cammie, and she has let me OR out. 2 weeks ago, I saw her again last Monday, and she said that there was an OR on my bond for it, and that because I do know her, and that she knows my character, is what I'm getting at. She knows my character. And I see her Monday. I have court with her next Monday. And with the my word was good for her, is what I'm saying. I do have an OR on that bond for the city with the failure to appear that put me in here in the first place. Because I had explained to her the situation, that how it had happened and stuff, and that how I thought the matter had been dropped because when I had called, the system here was down. So I couldn't get a correct court date. And the address that the mail was sent to, I can't go there. And so I had no idea when court was that I had missed, and she understood that.
We would need confirmation from jail staff that she was indeed incarcerated at the time she was supposed to have appeared on October the 24th.
Yes, sir.
Perhaps.
Now in my last video, why could he not do this? Sit and think about that. He could have asked that way back then.
Indeed, that's what happened.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to need confirmation from the jail.
Okay. They should have it because, yeah, I got arrested the 23rd at like 11:30, 12 o'clock. I had just left Mr. Watt's office. And I did not know about the warrant for that matter at the time either because I didn't even get pulled over or anything. I had stopped to talk to an officer. And he asked who I was, and I gave him my name. And so apparently he had seen it on the phone.
We just need to verify you were in jail on the 23rd.
Sorry. I talked too much.
At least he stopped her there. But that, at least we understand why she got arrested because, well, the cop asked for the name. Oh, I'm just being a nice guy. Just go ahead and give me the name, even though you're asking questions. Boom. Oh, a warrant. Quit giving your identification if you're not committed a crime.
Bond status before that had been $1,500 surety.
Sir.
Okay. All right. I'll take the request under advisement. Mr. Payne, we'll try to get some validation of what the defendant represents from the jail staff, and then the court will make a ruling accordingly.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Chris, depending on what information you find out, could you send Miss Norris an email, maybe CC me as well, just to keep me in the loop?
Okay.
Your Honor, I'm having one of my staff members go look and see when she was arrested and if she was here then.
Thank you. If you can do that now, that would be wonderful.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate it. Appreciate your efforts to do that.
Thank you.
That was very, very kind of you to go above and beyond. Thank you.
Let's not have her put back in a cell. We may need to recall her here
Okay.
when that information is
Do you want me to
learned.
go out and say it? Do you want me to go ahead and go out and say it in the hallway?
Well, whatever the jail staff directs you to do, I just did.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
He should
Be too far away.
Okay.
He should be back with an answer here shortly.
Okay.
By the way, the attorney already should have all this information. Way to go, attorney. Represent her the correct way.
You guys are pretty great here, actually. That's really sad to say, but yeah, you have been.
She was. Your Honor, she was in custody at that time.
Okay, so she was in custody when she was supposed to have appeared on October the 24th in this court.
Yes.
Looks like, Ms. Ruth, that you were locked up quite a while on that hold.
Yes, sir, I was.
Your Honor, they said that she came in on the 23rd